Welcome to the Happiness Forum with Rhonda and Sandrine.
Hi, Sandrine. Today we're talking about manifesting. That's one of our favorite topics. It's one of mine, at least. Um, I like to think that all my positive vibes are doing something for me. How about you? Do you like the
Oh,
topic?
I love that topic. That's one of my favorites because it always brings you such good vibe, like you said, and you end up after that conversation, in a whole different mood. So it's great. I'm excited about that.
Great. Well, for me, manifesting, I think, came a little late to me. I know when I met you, you told me about your inner knowing. And I kind of, from the time I met you, I kind of noticed that anytime you like kind of wanted something or needed something, it just sort of came into your life. And I do notice that with me more now, but I'm wondering if you can tell me how you manifest.
Well, that's funny you telling me about, my inner knowing because really I have to back up and start with that because I thought that that was a normal thing that everyone experienced. So as I was growing up, even as a child, I would know things about my adult life that would happen, like as a certainty. Like there was really no doubt. I'm like, okay, when I'm, around that age, this is gonna happen. This is
Right.
gonna be that way, that way, that way. It's like a knowing that I know it was gonna be that way. And as I grew up and things happened, I wasn't surprised, but I always thought that everyone on this planet had the same knowing feeling that I did. And to me, that was a natural thing, and I never really pay attention to it. But then as I got older and things really become so real that were so detailed in my mind of how things were going to happen, and it did happen, I started asking around me. And the way that I was described to my friend, I'm like, oh, I knew this, I knew that, I knew that. And then it happened. And people were like, "Oh no, I have no idea."
Right.
No,
No, I know.
no.
No, not everybody is able to do that.
I'm like, "What?"
I think maybe we all have it inside,
Yes.
but it's not something that most people are aware of or connecting with.
Yeah, and I find that strange because I
Mhm.
lived all my life that way. To me, that was a natural thing that everybody has. And when I find out that a lot of people don't, or most people don't, I'm like, how? Like, it's strange to me that other people are not that way. And
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that makes sense because that's your experience and you feel like, well, you knew that as a child, so you just figure all children do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you found out later that's not the case.
Yes. And that was very strange even to me now, all the thing that we talk about because it's so natural to me and it's so in integrated that I feel weird about talking to those things and people not knowing about those things because I'm like, oh, everybody knows that. And no, people are like, no, I have no idea. Like, tell me more. And I'm like, okay, you know.
Well, yeah, tell us about, okay, how that inner knowing goes along with manifesting. Like, how does it get you to the place you want to be or get you things in your life? How does it attract things into your life?
Listen, I'm now that I've did that work about spirituality and I understand a little bit more the connection with the soul, I can tell you that this is coming from my soul. This is kind of an imprint inside of me that I want to say I have nothing to do with. It's just there. It's just been there all along because I kind of know my path somehow. I kind of know, the big lines without, so I guess it's me being connected to that part of self that you would call the soul because I'm able to access those information that way. Like it's been there all along. Like I haven't tried to, now I understand it more, but I didn't do anything, That's my I was born that way, I guess. So now it plays a role because I know that it comes as a it's like memories of the future. That's the best way I can say it. You have memory of your past where you can relive moment. I have memory of the future. I live my moment in the future. I know this is there. I know this is gonna happen.
Mhm.
I don't know when. It's like my memories of the future. So I'm just going along with my way and doing the best that I can, each day. And like, I told you about it. I told you I have image of my future.
Right,
I've been
right.
there forever.
Mhm.
And it's like my memory of my future somehow. That's the
Right, it's
I can.
sometimes yeah, we get, like, these intuitive hits. We might see something or sense
Mhm.
something, feel like, like a knowing, like, "Oh, I know this is gonna happen," and then it does, or,
Mhm.
even like a flash, like a scene, and then it, like, materializes and, deja vus are kinda like that, where
Mhm.
you're in a place and you feel like, "Oh, this is something I lived before," and all those kinda things. They're um, we do have that knowing, but how do you like purpose? And I know that happens to me a lot. I do kind of sense things. Sometimes I'll see images and something will happen and just like a lot of synchronicities. But how do you purposely manifest something? And what do you I mean, is it and I'm asking, I know we've talked about it, but I just want you to say in your own words, like, how do you actually manifest things into your life? Because I know there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of books about how to manifest. And what I mean is, people have a list, like the movie The Secret, where, you think of something, you believe you have it, and then it comes into your experience, which does happen, but is it, that simple?
Yes, and it's taught by yourself, of course, by you and knowing yourself, like being able to connect to that inner deep part of yourself because and being in the moment also. So I'm saying that because I feel that when if if I want to manifest something that is not part of my, future memory, like I said, memory of the future, something new that I want to manifest, I think it's taught by vision in the now. So it's like anchoring yourself in that present moment and visualizing what you want to see manifest and feeling it right now as yours, which all the books and all the teacher are saying the same thing. So it's a matter of being in the now, connecting with that part of yourself and feeling. You have to feel. It's not I will have that. It doesn't work that way. It's I have this right now. Like everything is happening right now. You have to reset yourself in the now. And I don't know if it is because, I've been doing a lot of meditation, and that's the purpose of meditation is to reconnect with your being and be in the present moment. And I'm sure that helped. I'm sure that's something that helped tremendously with manifesting. It's to be able to connect and be in the now. But you have to connect your feeling. Other people will say, your vibration to feeling that things that you visualize happening right now and feeling it as if you have them right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though to do that. Because when you don't have something and you want something really badly, that's kind of almost the opposite.
It is because the mind is used to anticipate and go into I will, that will happen, or I had. The mind is always going between the past and the future. So it's very hard to know how to live in the now. And the way to manifest is to live in the now. That is the first step. of manifesting. And because our thoughts, and uh, our thoughts, when we anticipate something or when we want to have something in the future, it's only thoughts. They're only thoughts, they're only ideas. It's a matter of not attaching yourself to those ideas and resetting yourself in now. And it's another way of thinking. Basically, it's training your brain to think in the now and to think into having and being. That's it. Those are the key. You have now, you are now. And if you start thinking that way continuously, things change around you, things happen.
Yeah, and feeling is very important too. Yeah, I just want to add, if, sometimes it is hard to get, to feel that you're there, to feel that what you want is actually happening now. But sometimes I find if you do something else that feels good, you'll keep up that, like you say, you set your intention on, say you want a car, a particular car, and you have it in your mind and you have your intention there, but it's hard to imagine really owning it, especially if you have like a really old car.
Hmm.
But if you can keep that feeling, like with something else, go to a movie that makes you feel really good and
Hmm.
just keep feeling good. That's really important too.
I
Just keep
agree.
up the feeling.
Yes, I agree. Actually, the feeling is the most important, Rhonda. This is the most important thing. If you don't feel it, it's because, like we teach, in everything that we write and do, if you don't feel it, it's because your ego, it's still in the way. That connection to your soul and to your inner self is not properly, it's not clear. The connection is not clear. So you still have that ego that stay in you getting yourself in the way of your own growth. By, if you feel that, the feeling is not there, you cannot feel that you have those things right now, it's because your ego is in the way. So are you have some work to do as far as your, personal growth, more understanding, more getting you to know yourself better, and clear up this connection with your inner self, with your higher self, with your soul. And at that point, you're going to be able to feel properly. So, that demands a lot of work on yourself, on your part. So it's a matter of, um, refocusing and learning to connect with that inner self, with that higher self. Then the feeling would follow. The feelings of having it now and being into it now will follow.
Yeah, and I think meditation is good again, but also I just thought of, sometimes exercise, those endorphins can make you feel really good.
Yes,
And, just like I said, like do other things that make you happy, but like really self-care, just taking care of yourself while you're trying to manifest probably goes a long way.
it does go a long way, and that's a very good example. Exercise, it's one of the thing that make you, one of the, movement of the body. You are in the moment at that moment. That's something that anchors you in the present moment. And plus, it's healthy. It really is, all kind of good hormones in the body. So this is something that, of course, we can recommend, as well as meditation. Um, Anything that you do mindfully, it's a matter of setting the intention of being truly in the moment of doing something, you know, rather than doing many things at once. Do one thing mindfully, to teach yourself to be in the moment. Pay attention to every detail that's happening right now in front of you, whether it's cooking or, gardening, anything that you're doing. Doing this in a mindful way help yourself anchor yourself in the moment. Eating, anything that you do, if you try to put your mind into it, it's a very good exercise.
Yeah, that'll keep you kind of like grounded too.
Yes. Hmm.
But another thing I was thinking about is that we don't want to give the impression that if you think about something, it's just going to come into your life, because you have to act too. So it's like intention and action on some part. For example, like I mentioned, the car.
Hmm.
If like you just think about the car and just think about it and like hope that maybe you'll win it in some kind of contest, or y- just it will just come into your life magically. That may not happen. It might, but it may not. So there's things you can do, like while you feel you have it in your life, you can take steps. You go to the car dealer, drive the car, you're getting
Absolutely.
closer to it.
Absolutely. Action, yes, it's the second part of manifesting. Absolutely. So putting yourself in a position where those manifestation that you want to are going to come your way. So that's the that's the world, material world action that are needed, but the first step it's really within yourself. So it's kind of a two-step process.
Yeah. And, another thing is like people manifest things all the time without realizing it. I mean, think about all the really good things you've gotten in your life. I mean, sometimes, it was just a thought and it just kind of came in. And maybe you
Mhm.
don't think about your life that way, but if you look back at some of the things that happen, if you're married where you met your spouse, a lot of times there's uncanny things that happen, coincidences, like how did you meet that person?
Mhm.
There's always some kind of backstory. How did you get your first job? How did you end up going to the school you went to? There's just so many things that happen in life,
Mhm.
that we don't realize that you know, we're a part of it. They don't just happen to us.
Yes, like synchronicity. We were talking about that.
Exactly.
You think about something or you say something out loud, and then phew, it falls on you. Like it
That's
just
right.
happens. It's like, what? It really happened. It really happened.
Yeah. Yeah, those things do happen, like, quite often.
Yeah.
But, like, if you want to make changes in your life, it's, like, pretty easy to set an intention
Hmm.
and be positive and take action to move towards the things that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Setting the intention. It's also part of it. You're correct. You're right. You're right. You have to um, maybe even start by that, actually. Setting your intention, then working on yourself, and then taking action. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, like if you are going to do something and you're really excited about it, it'll happen. Like
Hmm.
you could feel, like your whole, the change in yourself. You ever have a day where like everything seems to be going right? Like, why is that?
Yeah.
It's not because, it has to do with you. It's
Yes.
all coming from inside you. When everything goes bad, that's you too. It's you. Something happens, and then your mind keeps saying, "Oh, it's a really bad day," And then if you keep thinking that, it will be a bad day.
I,
But if you're excited about something, everything goes well.
absolutely. It's like when you fall in love, right?
Hmm.
You're in love. You wake up in the morning, everything is wonderful,
That's right.
no matter where you are, what you do. And then your whole day goes well because he called. Oh my God. You know? And that's exactly what it is. It's like putting yourself in that position where you can have the best opportunity. And it all starts with feeling. Like when you're in
Right.
love, you feel a certain,
Well,
and then your all day goes well. You're so excited about any little thing. Everything excites you. Everything is happy. Everything is great because you're in that feeling mode
and it's
of
not
great.
because you're really in love, it's because
That's another
that
topic.
right, that's another topic, but it's a good example of why
Yes,
everything comes from inside of you.
yes,
It's your perception on everything. You
yes.
feel like you're in love, so everything is wonderful because
Everything
it's
is
all
wonderful.
coming from you.
Yes,
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time,
that's
but
another topic. That's a great one.
yeah,
But that's exactly where feelings come because it is a feeling thing. You feel that way. So everything is a domino effect on the rest of your life. All the opportunity that are now going to come your way are exciting and you're willing to try it in that state of mind, in that feeling mode, right? So
right?
that's why you have
Mhm.
more opportunity. That's why things happen better for you because you make them happen that way because of the way you feel, the way you got up that morning, you know.
Yeah, most people, if you think about, oh, there's my, okay. Yeah, my computer is hooked up to my phone, so even though I put everything on silent, it had a way of coming through. But yeah, what remind me what we're talking about? I was distracted for the
Uh,
minute.
well, we were talking about the opportunity that you create by feeling the way that you feel that day.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if you're feeling really good about one thing, you'll have that momentum
Mm-hmm.
and just keep going. Everything's, really up to you. It's from
Yes,
the inside.
yes, absolutely.
And that's what we talk about all the time.
Yeah,
Self-knowledge, because it's really about, what's inside of you.
it
And
all come from that connection to yourself, to your inner self. Everything, all your life depend on that connection.
right, so you can create your own world,
Yes,
basically. I mean, you
you
do, because
create.
everything that comes into our experiences is about perception,
Yes, it's
what
a
how we see it.
yeah. How we see it, what we make of it. Here you go, and how you feel about it. You know, it all goes together. So that's the key, that's the secret.
Yeah, that it's
Knowing yourself is the secret of everything.
it is, and you know what? In any circumstance, I mean, it all comes down to self-knowledge. Anything that happens in your life, you always have that inner self that
Hmm.
that's just always there.
Yes.
It's always accessible. It's indestructible,
Yep. So it's
you
two
know?
things, I think. It's self-knowledge and self-awareness. So it's knowing what you know about yourself and trying to know more and dig deeper and get to know yourself, you know, at different level. But it's also being aware that, and being aware, I mean, being more present with yourself, um, being able to navigate in that mode of now. That's what I call awareness of the now, awareness of yourself in the now. So self-knowledge and self-awareness are the two key um, component of or things that you need to know in order to manifest anything you want.
Yeah, I think it's about I mean, sometimes you need patience, it's not always going to be on the timing you want.
Yes.
But it's something if you wanna do something, you can do it. And it doesn't mean that, we're not saying, like, you hate your job and you wanna leave and, just leave it and, do what you love and the money will follow because that doesn't always happen. It
Hmm.
means that you can do everything you wanna do.
You can.
Do everything you wanna do, and it will things will get better. I mean,
Hmm.
even just taking a risk makes you feel good about yourself. So if there's something you want to do and it's not in your experience yet and you want to manifest it, take steps to make it happen. So whatever it is, you make a plan. You want to buy that car, you look and see, can you afford it? You go online and do calculators. You compare prices. Maybe it turns out, a lot of times you think you can't afford things and then you do the research and find out that there's a way. If you never take that step and just sit back and think, oh, I can't afford that, you'll never get it. But if you think you want it, think about it, feel it, and take action.
Yes, that's correct. I want to add just one more little thing for the self knowledge and the self awareness part.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to ask your closest friends and family about their perception of you, because, you can learn something about you. You can see the way we see ourselves is not the way that people see us. So you can learn a lot about this and then adjust from there one way or another, because you're going to have to adjust, yourself. Maybe they're going to say things you don't like, and then learn from it. Take as a constructive criticism and learn from it to become better, you know. And if they're saying something great, then that just boosts your confidence and that give you more strength to go ahead and get, put your steps into action. So that's a very good place to start for self knowledge and self awareness, I think.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sandrine. And I think that, we've talked a lot about manifesting and self knowledge. And even though it's not really clean, like, you just think of something, believe it, it just comes into your experience. It's a little, just like life, it's a little messy. But things happen if you look back at your life and watch how things unfold. They do. You get what you're feeling. You get what
Mhm.
you think about. You get what you go
Yes,
after.
yes,
Think about all the things that happen. But there's like a lot more we can talk about on this topic, but we're about to wrap up, and I'd like to ask our listeners to send us any questions on manifesting or anything else that we talk about.
yes. Anything that they want us to talk about, also, if they have any idea or things they want us to, you know, present as a subject, that'd be great too.
Yeah, we look forward to connecting with you, and have a good night, everybody.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Nadine.
Bye, Rhonda.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. For more information or to schedule an astrology reading or coaching session, visit everythingnoetic.com.